the B Plus is growing, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you have an idea for a podcast, or if you want to, write reviews for shows, whether that's WWE, New Japan, local shows especially, we have a big focus on Aussie Graps here. So if you go out to shows in Melbourne, we specifically need people in New Zealand, Tasmania, and Queensland. If you go out to shows in those areas, please let us know. We would love to hear from you. We would love to work with you. If you have a passion for wrestling and you want to write about anything wrestling, it can be anything. It can be listicles, it can be in-depth articles, opinion pieces, show reviews, whatever you want to do. If it's wrestling, it's fair game. Shoot us a message or send an email to thebplus@unchained.media. That's thebplus@unchained.media. Let us know what you want to do, and we'll get back to you, and we'll work something out, because the B Plus is growing, and we want to grow the B Plus family. Now, on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, the moss covered, three-handle family credential.
Mamma mia!
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
number four, armbar.
I will never retire.
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Monday. You know what that means. It's time for the Impact Zone, which means I'm joined, as always, by the regular Jay, who is once again in the chat. I just noticed it. I didn't notice it when he logged in. He's calling himself Jay Unchained again, because I'm not going to stay for the whole episode. Jay Unchained, how are you?
I'm good, Greg. How are you? Still being
I'm good. I am still being a cowboy. I am nowhere near. I was supposed to be finished the game by now so that I could jump back into all of this. But and I'm trying. But I spend so much time hunting and fishing that I don't play the story.
Yeah, maybe you need to get that story sorted, mate.
Maybe I need an actual escape where I just go hunting and fishing for a week to get it out of my system instead of doing it on a video game.
You might be having another week off.
Yeah. Jay, the Unchained in Greg Unchained is because of Unchained Media, right? Like it's not some.
Yeah, I do. I just feel as if it needs to be ripped off a little bit.
Fair enough. Because you're the so you're the head honcho now. You've just sort of claimed that for yourself.
Yeah, I've taken over.
Fair enough. But you know who does a lot more work than you?
I feel as if
everyone. I'm kidding.
Well, that's true. That's true.
No, but Big Boy Mikey's doing multiple podcasts. Big Boy Mikey, you're here. How are you, brother?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Are you feeling a bit left out of the loop when we all start talking about Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah, no, man. I'm cool being left out of the loop on Red Dead. I'm not that much of a nerd, so I'm all right. So it's all good.
Yeah, not that much of a nerd, says the guy watching Harry Potter on repeat, playing Harry Potter theme songs out of nowhere, pissing me off with that shit. Anyway, you guys are here to talk Impact. I'm here just to get my weekly Scarlett Bordeaux update. How did my girl go? Was she the star of Impact once again?
You want to do this one, Jay, or do you want me to do it?
I reckon she was great. She was lovely. Mikey will say otherwise, but she was awesome.
Mate, what a heel turn. No.
What happened? You guys have both told me that Scarlett Bordeaux didn't have a good week. What happened?
It was just an extra little bit cringy this week because it was with the Deadly Hit Squad. And it was just a little bit with Garma, and it's just she was just a little bit too cringy this week. Like I don't know, like
She should have brought back the bath scene.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. It was just weird with them. Like, I don't know.
Sorry, that sounded super seedy.
Yeah. Especially with your mustache, Jay. But I like the cheesy personally with Scarlett. So I'm probably gonna. I ended up looking up a couple of highlights and stuff on YouTube last week. So I did see the Scarlett Bordeaux bath scene and her watching those videos. And yeah, I listened to the podcast obviously when I edited it, and I reckon half of those people were backstage people. There's no way they're accepting real fan submissions for the show.
You know what, Greg? I actually don't think you've been playing Red Dead.
Why?
I think you've been filming videos to send to Scarlett Bordeaux.
That's the secret. That's the truth.
That is the cover-up.
Yeah, I've spent an entire week trying to get my body ready for this video that I'm gonna. I've been stretching. I'm going to do a human contortionist gimmick.
Well, she did drop her email, so
maybe
I believe
I
it
saw
was
on Twitter.
Scarlett.
I saw on Twitter she got her first dick pic, which I'm like, your first, really?
You're about to
That's
get
actually-
multiple ones, Scarlett.
It's actually kind of impressive that it was her first. No, but there's one more thing I want to talk about before I go. I don't know if you guys were going to touch on this later or what, but I'm just going to blow up your plans and just because I want to talk about this before I go. The Austin Aries thing. Turns out it probably was a work.
Before we discuss this any further, I'd like to say the B+ was correct in its predictions. B+ podcast was correct in saying that it was a work.
I went back and forth a lot.
Yes, but I think we ended up getting there to like your last sort of filming of the Impact cast. We did come to an agreement that it was a work.
It was probably a work, yeah. And it turns out, like, from everything we're seeing still in the dirty dirt sheets and stuff, that good old, Uncle Dave, as Big Boy likes to call him, has reported that, yeah, it's all a work. He's, but the Twitter thing was real. He had real heat with management over the Twitter thing, not because he crossed the line or anything. He and Johnny worked that out amongst themselves. So there was no line cross. Tyre wasn't pissed. It was just that they didn't clear it with management before they did it.
Well,
yeah. That was a big gripe about the whole thing. But, like, I say, if the two workers are happy doing it, and Don Callis is not PC, as we know,
yeah,
why do they care?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you gotta get management approval before you start running something that's going to become storyline. But they could have just ignored it on TV if it didn't amount to anything, you know?
Yeah, I understand that, but, like, I mean, as if they would care.
Yeah. All publicity is good publicity, and I think that's where the heat disappeared. Was it ended up getting them on TMZ, and because it ended up getting them on TMZ, the company were like, "Well, let's turn this into an actual worked shoot," and that's where we got the whole angle from.
yeah, that's more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was well played.
Very well played.
Well played. Because Austin had a lot of people believing that it was a
Well, yeah.
shoot.
Can all the people who just be like, Austin Aries is a big old cunt. Like, can all those people just shut the fuck up now? Like, okay, I know dude has a reputation that's followed him, but isn't it convenient that the reputation only ever follows him when he's a heel? Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Maybe he's just the last true heel.
He just plays his character well, I think.
What do you
I've
reckon, Big
heard
Boy?
so many mixed reports. I've heard mixed reports that from people who have interviewed him in the past and that he's a lovely guy and he's actually really decent. But then there are others where they just, like, even wrestlers and that come out and say he's a bit of a dick. So I don't know, like, he's really one of those guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is a vegan, so
No, well, I changed my opinion then.
well, he was very heel on Instagram yesterday with his vegan stuff because it was World Vegan Day yesterday. So,
the one tweet that I liked, and I'm going to leave you guys to talk Impact because you have a job to do. But he did tweet that it was something about vegan pussy is the only pussy that tastes good. What?
Wow.
What on earth? Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna say adios. I'm gonna let you guys get at it, and I'm gonna go back to my hunting. No, I'm gonna do the story this time. I promise. I'm gonna get it finished.
Yeah, you do that.
yeah, I agree.
All right. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about Impact.
Alrighty.
So, how's your week been, Mikey?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Very busy with work, but
I think that's the case with all of us.
Yeah, mate.
We juggle two things. So
That's it, mate. I had to catch up on literally everything today. So I've had about 10 hours of wrestling today. I've had to watch 10 hours of WWE today to cram in for the cast tonight with Corey and that. So yeah, I'm all wrestled out today. But let's talk it.
yes, how did you feel about the show?
Look, in ring was fine. Some of the backstage stuff and some of the cutaways and that were a little average, but yeah, look, it's still a fun episode.
See, I've got mixed feelings about this show this week. I actually did not enjoy it as I have been. I don't know what it was. I just there was a couple of good matches, but it was just it was a bit slow for my liking. Like there wasn't much storyline progression, considering they've got another pay-per-view in 7 days.
Oh, the final hour. Yeah. Well,
yes, it was just a bit storyline slow for me.
I can see some of that. There are some things that worked really well and some things that didn't, but yeah, I don't know. Like the in-ring stuff for me was really good. I guess we can jump straight into it. Like the opening match. I know you want to get straight into that one with Big Willie Mack making his debut against Rich Swann.
Yes,
this was great. Like this was a great match. Yeah, okay, not story driven. Like this is Willie's debut, and he wanted it against his friend Rich Swann, which is fine. But yeah, I get that there's no real build there for anything special. But I thought this still was a really good match. It was a really fast-paced match.
Oh, as Don Callis said, he's like, who's booking these matches? We're having main events in the opening match week after week, which is true. Because it always seems to be that their first match is always their best match.
I'm going to disagree with that. It's something the WWE do, some other companies do, and I kind of understand it. A main event match doesn't have to exactly be main event. A show opener is just as important as a main event. It sets a tone for the rest of the night, and sometimes the opening match for me is actually the best match of the night sometimes. And this is me going back to the 90s with WCW and that, but the WCW used to open up with like the cruiserweights and that, and by the end of the show you're like, oh, actually no, you know what, the main event match actually was the cruiserweights for me. Similar to this, I like having a main event style in the opener. So yeah,
but it was a great match. Like, don't get me wrong. That knee at the end part of the moonsault was pretty vicious. I don't think he meant to do that.
No, but I really think Willie Mack's going to work out to be something.
Willie Mack's got a concussion now.
Yeah, but I think Willie's going to have a really good run in Impact. I think they see some quality in him, and I always have. Willie Mack's always done some great things on the indies. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, he's awesome. I was saying to Greg a couple of weeks ago. I said to him, how come he hasn't been noticed so much? And Greg said, maybe he just doesn't want to work any other matches. But yeah, maybe it's time. It's his time to shine now. That he's starting to get noticed.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this is the start of something good for him. I mean, Lucha's a great place for him to be at. Lucha and Impact probably have just as much airtime as each other in America. So
yeah, it's just not big in other countries. That's the thing.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
I doubt they'd even get the viewers in Australia. Like me, you, and Greg are probably the three only ones that watch Lucha Underground.
Yeah. And then again, it's done illegally. No offense. Yeah.
Which isn't good. We at the B Plus Players do not condone illegal downloading of any programs.
No, absolutely not. But Lucha, Netflix. I know Netflix just dumped Lucha for season 4, but come on, pick up Lucha. Pick up Netflix. Pick up Lucha for Australian Netflix. We need it.
Yeah, just email Netflix.
Yeah,
get them over.
That's it. All right. Well, yeah, that was a good opener. Then we got the little little street talk. Oh no, sorry, that was later on. We had Sammy and OVE talking about beating Cage at Bound for Glory, and Sammy wanting his X Division title back.
Yeah, that was just a bit of a feeler.
Yeah. Sammy and Cage is going to be an interesting one-on-one. I don't know their styles like. I mean, obviously, different styles can create interesting clashes, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm too keen for Sammy versus Cage. I don't know. There's something there, something missing there for me.
I think maybe it's a possible thing to get the X Division title off Cage and put him more into the main event picture, maybe like the world title picture.
That could be, that could be something.
Yeah, I mean, like, have Impact drop the title to Killer Cross and have Killer Cross versus Cage.
There you go. There's two heavyweights.
I mean, Vince McMahon would be licking his freaking hands at the moment.
Vince McMahon does like his big sweaty men.
Yes.
But we'll move on for that. Speaking of big sweaty men, Desi Hit Squad. Got another random tag team from the indie scene coming on board from, for Impact this week in Jimmy and Johnny Boots, or the Beach Bums, as they call them.
And we also found out who
the mystery guy is,
the mystery guy is.
So I did a little bit of research on this. So Raj Singh, so he's literally Garma's son. However, Raj Singh, so Garma's real son is ex-WWE champion Jinder Mahal. And when Jinder was on the independent scene after he got cut from WWE the first time, like when he got cut, he was known as Raj Singh on the indie scene. So I went to go research Raj Singh, and then it came up with Jinder Mahal. I'm like, what? Like, what the hell? It's because there's no profile for this Raj Singh yet. But yeah, so Raj Singh, the character there is actually is what Jinder was using on the independent scene. So, yes, it's very interesting that they're trying to maybe just capitalize on Jinder's rise to popularity there for a bit, or not popularity, but rise to fame there for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
Very weird. I don't know how to take that.
Yeah. Thought I'd do some research. I'm the resident researcher here. No, yeah. I don't know. I found it very interesting. I'm like, I couldn't find anything about this guy. Like, even last week when I saw him for the first time, and we talked about it on the cast, very unprofessionally we talked about it because we were just like, yep, no idea who this guy is. Yep, no idea.
But that was everyone.
Exactly.
Dirt Sheets didn't know who it was.
No. But even all the Internet Wrestling databases have no idea who he is. There's like in literally the results section for the Impact on a couple of websites, they use Garma's name in space of him because there's literally no profile for this guy, so they don't even know who he is. So he's literally debuting as a pro wrestler on Impact. Like,
it's actually crazy. He looks like he's had experience.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably been training for ages.
Look bad in the ring.
No.
Like, he looks decent, so...
Like, you've been an Impact, current Impact fan longer than I have. Have they still got that relationship with Raka King or Rinka King, if that's even a thing anymore, the Indian promotion? Because I know that I think it was Jarrett set up the relationship between Impact and the Indian promotion Raka King, which I think was Garma's promotion. I think I'm not 100% sure. Because unless he's been training, in India or up in Canada where Garma actually lives, I don't know. But yeah, he looks like he's been going for years. It's just strange.
Yeah, well, he was probably training in Canada, but because I know the Desi Hit Squad used to have about 6 members.
Yeah.
So they used to be pretty big, and now they've gone down to the 3.
It's just strange.
But yeah, that was a bit of a squash match.
Yeah.
It was a squash to build.
Yeah.
To build the Desi Hit Squad again.
Yeah, this is one indie team I don't know if I want to see again in Impact. I do want to see Desirable Dustin and Gigolo Justin, whatever his name was from last week, come back. But these guys, Beach Bums, were noticeably
We're made to look like bums.
Yeah, and they were noticeably a little bit rough around the edges. So, but anyway.
And then we got a promo about the OGs walking the streets while King says they're still on top and they're still untouchable.
Yeah.
Now, can you figure out how they're on top when they've lost
No.
to LAX at Bound for Glory, and all they done last week was beat down
Yeah.
They had a beatdown last week, and that was it. And they got run off by Pentagon.
Right. I can't really answer that one for you. I'm liking a little bit of this, a little bit of the rivalry here. Like, I like a bit of the mention of the past, like, you know, Conan always being a bit shady. Look what he did to Ray. Look at what he did to Hoovy. You know, look what he did to Psychosis, blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of liking those name drops. I'm like, if this reintroduces Hoovy and Psychosis to the Impact Zone, I'm more than happy to get those guys coming back for a little bit as a little bit of a guest spot. I love the bootleg Skeletor thing. I'm like, that's very cheeky because originally Pentagon was seen as a bit of a bootleg version of Lopaka, but obviously he turned out to be better than Lopaka already has been.
Yeah. But, see, I don't, like I said to you last week, I don't think that Phoenix and Pentagon should be feuding with the OGs. Pentagon deserves to be in that main event spot. Nothing's going to change my mind.
Absolutely. Pentagon should be the sole focus of any promotion that he's in. Like, Pentagon is the Mexican Kenny Omega. He is one of the hottest names in pro wrestling. Why he's not in the main event system, I do not know.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so how good is Sami Calihan with this? He appears at a promotion, an indie promotion, and has an imitation Brian Cage walking around with a fake X Division belt.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell you get an imitation Cage from because they're not. I guess you could probably just go to any Gold's Gym and find one. But I was about to say,
well, I think that's what they did.
Because my first thought was, how the hell do you find another Brian Cage? I'm like, there is not many men in this world that look like Brian Cage, and I'm like, no, I've seen Jersey Shore. There are a lot of guys that look like Brian Cage, so they could have found any sort of meathead to look like that. No offense, Brian Cage is far from being a meathead because I love that guy, but I'm sure there's a whole bunch of muscled up guys that look like him. So it was a funny segment. I was like, that was smart.
How good did the imitation X Division belt look? Had a bit of sellotape on it. With X Division on it.
Yeah. They should have just got the old school TNA X Division top.
Yeah, they should. Well, they should have got the Global Force Wrestling one just to stick it to Jeff Jarrett.
Global Force Wrestling. Wasn't that a shit period? Global Force Wrestling.
Oh, don't remind me.
I'm not gonna lie. I love their color scheme, and I love their the look of the ring and all that with Global Force Wrestling. I was like, actually, this kind of looks cool, but then you just knew Jeff Jarrett was behind it, and you know it's all going to go to shit. You're like, oh god. Yeah,
it was rubbish. It was a rubbish time for Impact, and that's why Impact nearly ended up folding completely. And then we get the Eli Drake segment with Joseph Park. Now, if you're an Impact regular, you would know that Joseph Park is in fact Abyss. Now,
No, I thought that was separate men. Come on.
now, you cannot tell me that Eli Drake does not realize that is Abyss. Like, this is so stupid.
I don't know. Like, I find it a little bit funny. It's a bit of the Sami Zayn El Generico thing. Is just like there's still a little bit of kayfabe there left to pretend that Eli doesn't know that Joe Park's not Abyss. So
yeah, well, Eli Drake, I'm going to steal your saying, and Eli Drake, you are a dummy. Yeah.
I hate the Joe Park character. I gotta say, no.
Yeah, it's terrible. Just keep Abyss, please. It's I've never liked it ever since they took his mask off of him a few years ago. This was a while back now. This was a good while. I never liked that character, and then they just bring back like it's kind of like the Kane character.
Dude, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm not one to sit there and go, oh, Impact copy WWE doing anything, because all companies copy each other, and they have for 40 years. I'm not going to... WWE have done stuff that Impact have done and seen things that Impact have done and taken it to their product, i.e. Broken Hardy stuff. They've taken all that with them. But at the same time, this was like, since day one, I'm like, this is corporate Kane rip-off, and it's just... not funny. Like it's just so cheesy.
Yeah, Joseph Parks,
and
just stay as Abyss.
And I'm a guy
mate.
that loves Abyss. I saw that guy finally live for the first time in June at World Series Wrestling. Like,
how did he go? Because he was in a hardcore match, wasn't he?
He was so fun, man. Like, he was in a fatal 4-way with Mick Moretti, Jimmy Havoc, and I can't remember the fourth one. Someone else. But it was fucking insane. Like, I'm pretty sure he threw Mick Moretti into like a garbage bin and threw the garbage bin. And like, man, he's still a monster.
Jimmy Havoc's like a fucking psycho.
Jimmy Havoc's one.
When it comes to hardcore matches.
I really want one-on-one Jimmy Havoc Abyss. I'd love Jimmy Havoc to come into Impact, actually.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Don Callis does not care about the PC.
No, PC's going out the window.
So, bring in Jimmy Havoc.
Exactly.
Don Callis. And then we had a segment that you did not like.
I did not like.
But I loved it because I love Scarlett Bordeaux. And anyone that says anything bad about Scarlett Bordeaux is in trouble. So you say nothing bad about Scarlett Bordeaux.
I don't want to say too much bad. I'm going to blame... Okay. Just her little bit of acting. The last couple of weeks have been really good with her with that bath scene last week and the stuff on stage a couple of weeks ago and all that sort of stuff. She's been fine. This week, I don't know, just like it was a little bit overplayed. Like it felt like it went from being... I don't know, what's a good Aussie show? It went from being Love Child to Home and Away in the space of a couple of weeks. If that's a hell of a
way.
Like,
if anyone's Home and Away listeners, sorry for Mikey's comment. That was very inappropriate.
Yeah, I used to be a Home and Away mark, but not anymore. It's gone way down here. Anyway, but yeah, it went from being like really good to like really cringe in the space of a couple of weeks. I'm like, I don't know what happened there. Like, she's still obviously gorgeous and she's wearing the right clothing for it, and you know, but there's something weird with the acting this week that kind of was like, I don't know. And then, to be fair, the other side of it, having a 65-year-old like Indian descended Canadian grandfather type guy crack it with a mid-20s lady is just a little bit creepy too, but you know.
Yeah, but that's what happens in real
life.
Does.
I was waiting for them to talk about Bob's and I was waiting.
Scarlett can pretty much have anyone she wanted.
I was waiting for one of the boys to ask for Bob's and Virgin there, but that's all right. that's probably just lost
if
out.
you got that.
Probably just lost our Indian audience, but that's all right.
Next, we had one of the matches of the night. Again, Tessa Blanchard and Ty Valkyrie. Tessa Blanchard is the queen of women's wrestling right now. Yeah. She is the queen.
She is. I've read a few different reviews about this because I wanted to see what everyone thought was, and I want to get your thoughts. How do you feel about the ending on this match? The match itself was good. How do you feel about the end?
Didn't like it. I never like matches that end like that. It's just it's a very cheap way to finish a match.
Okay. We're actually going to disagree here. I'm not going to be as mean as Greg is. But I'm going to disagree with you here. I actually liked it because I actually think that the DQ finish works here because it's kind of part of that feud from Taya not respecting Tessa, not being honorable champion. I kind of think for once in a blue moon, I'm not a big fan of DQ finishes at all. Usually, I kind of liked it here. I don't know. I liked it here. That kind of worked with the story, and I liked it. For me.
Yeah, I can see your point, but I don't know. I've just sort of never liked these finishes, and I can't get my head around it.
I put my Greg voice on. Joe, you're wrong. I am a cowboy. You're wrong. No, I can't do a Greg voice.
Greg will probably come back and go, "I heard you. I heard you. I've been sitting here listening to you through my headset."
Oh yeah, he's definitely got his mic and mute and listening to us right through it. That's all right.
He's just listening to everything we're saying about him,
making a list of.
Yes, Greg, we are speaking about you.
Something for you to listen to and edit out later. But yeah, look, fun match for me. I like the ending. Like, I'm not a big fan of always having DQ endings, but this actually worked for me.
Yeah, we'll see where the feud goes from here.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, Greg, curious question for you, man. Have you been shopping recently?
I have not.
Mate, well, I've got some good news for you. I know you're not a big fan of crowds, as most of us here at the B Plus aren't. Have you heard of Threadbox?
I have heard of Threadbox.
Man, then you would know how good they actually are. I mean, I just received my first crate, and holy moly, I'm amazed. Guys, if you're listening, go check out threadbox.com.au, and they have everything from hats to socks to shirts to pants. It's fantastic. With email to a personalized stylist and customizable crates, it's honestly one of the best things I've had. I don't know about you, Greg, but I really enjoy it.
I got a crate the other day, and they gave me new jeans, a couple of new shirts, and the cool thing is, one of the shirts I tried it on, and it was a little bit long for me, and I thought this accentuates how short I am in person, and so I sent them an email, and I was just like, hey. This shirt, I feel like it makes me look really short because I'm kind of short. And they were like, send it back. We'll give you something else next month, like an extra thing. So I'm going to send that shirt back. And then next month, they're going to send me out something else. And I said to them, I've got lots of shirts. And they were like, well, we'll send you some accessories. And that's how Threadbox do it. It's kind of fantastic.
See, how good's that? And with our special code, the B Plus 15 at checkout, actually saves all our fans 15% at checkout on their first box. How cool is that?
Yeah, so head to threadbox.com.au today and use the code the B Plus 15 to get your first box as soon as you can.
Then we got the Jordan Grace video package, hyping up her debut for next week, I think it is. Or 2 weeks away. Is it next week?
So she debuts at Final Hour.
Debuts at Final Hour. Oh, yes, that's right. So it's a great place to debut. I can't wait to get Jordan Grace.
So you will definitely be watching Final Hour then?
Yeah, because... Jordan Grace is my girl. I don't want to ever get into her DMs because she makes merch out of her creepy DMs. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen it?
No, I have not seen that actually. No, I have
dude,
not.
It is the absolute best. Seriously, Jordan Grace, I don't think you'll ever listen to this, but if you do, you're a fucking legend.
So what's the best merch she's had off her DM?
So she's had so many creepy dudes DM her on Twitter, like they're trying to see a nude and all this, seedy shit. So she made a book. She made a little like book to sell at shows of all the creepy DMs that she gets, and they're legit, like printed out of like they were legit quotes from in her DM box. Don't know if she left the names in there or not, like of the people. I think she did. I think she might have left the names.
No, surely not.
And yeah, like she was selling it, and she like pre-sold out like the first week. Like people were actually buying it from her and stuff. It's actually like she's actually putting like the creepy DM dudes on notice, and it's fucking gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Like
that is crazy.
So she's going to become an Impact star next week, and I think she might start getting some more creepy DMs. Her DMs are wide open. Like she's not afraid to close it off. She doesn't have to be following you back for her DMs to be open. But yeah, she's humiliated a fair few. But no, she's quality.
Wait. So what's that supposed to mean? See, she will talk back to you if you're not a complete creep.
I mean, I guess now she's getting bigger and bigger. She's probably not getting a chance, but she would have been because she had her DMs wide open. Like she didn't have them locked off from just her followers. Like on Twitter, how if you have a follower, you have to have them following you to be able to message them. Hers are open to the public. She probably doesn't get to respond to everyone these days. I'm sure she's getting more and more popular, especially after All In and all that. But yeah, like people are just like inboxing her with creepy messages and Bob's and Vagine type stuff. So yeah. But yeah.
So we get Brian Cage responding to Sami Calihan's challenge, and he's going to travel to Ohio next week and defend the X Division title against Calihan and anyone else from Ohio that wants a piece of him. So, who's from Ohio? I said it right the first time, and now I can't even say it.
From Ohio? Well, all the good guys that I know that Ohio born, they're all in the WWE, so I can't really think of, like, you got like Miz and like Dolph Ziggler and that, they're all Ohio guys, but I can't really think of anyone that's an indie star that's from Ohio that can't just, like, there'll be someone. Look forward to find out who the idea might be, but I'm actually hoping he doesn't drop the X Division title for a couple of weeks because he's due to be in Sydney. Breaking news that came out this week. We have shared it on the B Plus Facebook page that he will be defending his X Division title if he's still X Division champion against Bandito in Perth.
So he's retaining.
Well, necessarily, it's always subject to change cards. Like, yes, they're booking it as an X Division match, but he could lose it before then and just be a regular one-on-one. They can still book it like that. But I hope Bandito gets an X Division shot because Bandito is a guy that I want Impact to get as well because WWE would ruin Bandito, and I think he's one of the best Mexican guys out there. Yeah.
As they do.
Yeah, which you can listen to tomorrow when we release a WWE podcast because I'm going to have a scathing WWE review tonight. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be a good match though. But I love that they're doing it from another arena, from Rockstar Pro that they were using. I think it was Rockstar Pro. I like that. I like that they're using like another indie show to sort of sell the X Division. Like maybe Rockstar Pros is where they're getting guys like the Beach Bums and those sort of guys from. So
Yeah, which is a good thing about Impact. They love their indie promotions.
Yeah.
Obviously, Don Callis.
And
So-
half the card is an indie card now. It's pretty much an old school PWG or Evolve lineup now, like the likes of the next guy that we're going to talk about, like Ethan Page. Yeah. So I love what they're doing there.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's a good change for companies actually. And then obviously Matt Seidel, Ethan Page versus LAX. There's 2 losses in a row for Seidel and Page.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to end well. I don't know how it ends, but I don't think it's going to end well, which sucks because, like we talked about last week, the tag division in Impact sucks right now.
Yes, it's
Too
too
thin.
too shallow.
And even with, because like we said, we don't want Pentagon and Phoenix being locked up in the tag division because they're too good for it. But you have to kind of leave them in there for now because the tag division is weak. So it's hard.
That's exactly right, and they need to start bringing in more tag teams and like bring in the Beach Bombs, bring in Gigolo and
Dustin,
whatever his name was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Bring him in.
Look, Impact and Major League Wrestling. I don't know if you catch much Major League Wrestling. We talked about it last week. They've kind of got similar cards. Like Major League Wrestling are doing a little bit of work with a couple of New Japan guys. But other than that, most of it's the same. Like Penta's in both, Sami Calihan's in both. It's got a kind of a different stable there. Similar, but different guys. But there's a couple of guys in Major League Wrestling that I think would do well as like a extra little thing with Impact if Major League allowed them to. Guys like I know you can't use Davey Boy Smith because he's a New Japan talent, but he's in a team with Brian Pillman Jr. and Teddy Hart. Like I would like to see them come in as a tag team, something like that. But yeah, it's just based off this. Like they're still continuing to allow LAX to look strong, but what do you have for LAX after this? Like, I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a massive current LAX guy. I much prefer the in-ring talent of Homicide and Hernandez over Santana and Ortiz. I love original LAX, but I don't know.
I reckon Santana and Ortiz are great.
They're good, but I don't know. I'm a bit of a...
You're a bit of an old school LAX guy.
Yeah, I'm the old school TNA guy. I was there when LAX was going against friggin' the Dudley Boys and... Team 3D and those sort of guys. So, yeah, no, I don't know. What do you think? Like, what are you sort of hoping to see from the tag division here?
I just want to see... I want to see some more tag teams, pretty much. But I think LAX have kind of staled the tag titles a little bit.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
It does.
It hurts.
It does, because...
But, I mean, what can you do? Like, it reminds me kind of the tag team division in the WWE 2010, 2011, where the tag titles were irrelevant.
Yeah. And it happens, and they've got to be careful. Obviously, Tessa is a bigger and more important name to them than LAX. Tessa's, one of the biggest stars in wrestling, regardless of gender or promotion. But they've got to be careful that they don't do that with the women's title, so the Knockouts title, that they don't just allow Tessa to be that dominant with the title that all female talent that they bring in looks weak. You know what I mean? They've got to find that fine line. They've got to let a tag team or two get into LAX's reign or get a couple of wins there and just kind of make it look like there's actually some sort of division there, because at the moment it's just not looking like that. And has OVE been doing just standard tag team stuff recently? Just the two of them?
No, it's just more been Callahan.
Like OVE are a great tag team.
Or OVE getting destroyed, the Chris getting destroyed.
Yeah. See, OVE...
That's pretty much all it's been.
The Chris brothers, or however you want to pronounce it, they're a fantastic tag team. I don't know why they're not.
Yeah, they're great. They just get squashed all the time.
Yeah, the matches that they've had with guys like Penta and Phoenix and PWG have been nothing short of phenomenal. But
yeah, they're in Impact. They're more of the kind of like the security team that gets destroyed every week.
Yeah. Their own Singh brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. They're Jinder Mahal's lackeys.
Yeah. Which they're too good. I'll tell you another tag team that'd be interesting. So I'm not saying this just because I'm an Aussie, but because Impact and World Series Wrestling have had a bit of a relationship recently, how good would it be to see Moretti and Bonza as
Would
a tag
Moretti
team?
go there, but
Moretti's better with character-based shows. Like Robbie Eagles is a phenomenal wrestler, and he deserves to be in a place where it's just wrestling. Moretti is a fantastic wrestler, but it's also very character-driven. And I think America is a place for Moretti. Like he goes to Chikara a lot because I don't know if you know much about Chikara, but it's very, very gimmicky, and Impact's got a little bit of that still. Like there's still that, the abysses and those sort of things. And I can see someone like a Moretti and Bonza, being a cool tag team, and then obviously it's not going to happen for a while, but it's something that I actually wouldn't mind seeing, or I don't know. But anyway.
Well, I love Australian guys anywhere overseas, so.
Yeah. But let's move along to the whole Ali and Kira thing.
So it's pretty much what I explained to you last week.
Yeah.
Ali's losing her mind to darkness. I actually hope she turns into Su Young's disciple.
Well, it'd be very interesting. That that did happen.
Because Ali needs work with a character. I do not like Ali's face character. It reminds me of a Bailey character.
Yeah, I can't.
And I don't really rate Bailey.
No, I'm not a big fan of that character arc. I thought Dakota Kai was getting a little bit of that in NXT, and it sort of started to bother me, but she's not, thank God. She's a little bit more serious than that, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Before we do touch on it, I want to make mention that I know Greg's not a big fan of the PWI ranking style. I don't know if you are or not, but just want to make note that both Ali, Su Yung, and also Tessa Blanchard all made the top 20 for the PWI 100 women's wrestlers that came out today. So,
who was first?
Su Yung was in 13th. Tessa was 15, and Ali was 16. I imagine Tessa will be in the top 5 for 2019 because
Tessa 15th.
Yeah, but to be fair, just a reminder, I'm going to touch on this on the WWE one too, because WWE pretty much got the top 10 completely. It's very kayfabe based, so unfortunately Tessa she had a lot of wins and stuff, but they were she wasn't as dominant in the the second half of 2017.
Yeah.
Now she is. Now she's dominant now. And if she stays dominant all the way through to mid-next year, if she stays in Impact, she'll be in the top 5 hands down. But yeah, it's good. It's good to see 3 Impact in the top 20 there, though. Ali getting in there is good.
Yeah, it's great.
Su Yung getting in 13, which is good. So
that's crazy. See, yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. But just sort of throw that little bit of info in there. I'm going to touch on WWE later, but yeah, that's that. And then we got the Pentagon Homicide match. What do you think?
Snorefest.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. I love Pentagon, but I didn't like it. Don't like this year. Don't like where it's gone. Don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Don't even want to give it time.
I'm a bit weird about.
I don't know how you feel about it, but that's just me.
Yeah, look, I like seeing this little bit more lucha sort of stuff going on in Impact. I like it because it's more, not just it's not just, mask guys versus mask guys. It's, sort of the gangster style versus the... But for me, I feel weird having Pentagon and Phoenix being Conan's boys. It's like, they're not Conan's boys. Like, they're just... Pentagon and Conan have had some of the biggest feuds in wrestling. Like, they're not Conan's boys. It's a little bit off for me. The match was fine because I love Homicide. I've loved Homicide. So I'm a massive Homicide guy. I have been for nearly...
Living in the 90s.
Yeah. He was one of those guys that got me back into wrestling when I was, one of those hipster indie guys from back in the early 2000s when I'd...
Oh, wrestling gay, as if you'd watched that.
Yeah, I was a massive 90s guy, and then, like, WCW clothes and ECW clothes. I'm like, oh, okay, like, this is all I have now. And then there's, like, the internet starts getting a little bit better, and you start, like, seeing things of, like, CM Punk in Ring of Honor, and you start seeing, like, Bryan Danielson, and you start seeing Loki, and you start seeing Homicide. You're like, who are these guys? These are fucking guys are crazy. What am I missing out on? And it's like, oh, hang on. Oh, actually, my wrestling love is back. So Homicide is one of my original guys, and I'll always support him. But yeah, there's something weird about this. However, why is everyone stealing bloody Will Ospreay's Cheeky Nando's kick, and why is everyone calling it Cheeky Nando's? You see Pentagon did a Cheeky Nando's in that match?
He likes his Cheeky Nando's.
Like the guy, they did Cheeky Nando's, and there's so many people like.
Yeah, but how long's Ospreay been doing it for?
Oh, probably about nearly a year and a half, 2 years. And Cheeky Nando's is because Will Ospreay's got a love obsession with Nando's. So I don't know. I don't know if Pentagon's ever had Nando's, so I don't like.
Maybe he has.
I'm thinking it's more Mad Max. Oh, great! I've just lost a Mexican audience.
So that's two in one.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in a bit of trouble when Greg listens to this, I believe.
The Indian audience. I've insulted gym junkies. I just lost probably the Mexican crowd. Yeah, I don't know. I hope this has a better ending than it currently does because the feud's a bit of a snowfest, like you said. So
yeah, let's end it this week, please. Impact at final hour. Get rid of it. Scrap it. Pentagon won, and then Phoenix and Pentagon were beat down. And that was it for Impact.
I don't like Conan.
That was
I don't like Conan being in that sort of thing because Conan's not really a third guy. He can't really do much. Like the Garma from Desi Hit Squad has got more in.
Yeah, well, I think it's all them. It's all them hardcore injuries, hardcore matches that Conan was in, I believe. Like, and the Mexican mats back in the day used to be ridiculously tough.
Yeah.
So I can imagine. What he's going through.
That's it. Well, yeah, that's much better. Is there anything else exciting going on in the world of Impact?
I think we could discuss that all.
Yeah, actually, I don't really know much of the results because not many people have seen anything from it. But just a reminder that all the Impact boys most of them were on Jericho's cruise over the last few days. So I'm interested in seeing some sort of highlights if anyone brings some back. Because I know there's a lot of Impact versus Ring of Honor stuff, wasn't there? I thought there was some...
Yeah, there was. But good luck finding video footage.
I know they're going to upload a lot of the Ring of Honor-based stuff onto Honor Club from the cruise.
Yeah, well, most of the matches were Ring of Honor versus Impact.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see that because I did see that photo today that I just loved of Jay Lethal. Oh, should we talk about that? That Jay Lethal and Johnny Impact have shook hands and agreed to. I can't remember what the details were. It is on our Facebook page. Someone has posted it before. Jay Lethal and Johnny Impact have decided to go one-on-one Ring of Honor versus Impact champion, which I love the thought of because Johnny versus Jay Lethal would be a hell of a match.
No date or place has been confirmed.
No date. Okay, so there we go. So, so no date and place has been confirmed. But what we do know is they had a handshake, and something is going to happen there. So, be exciting to see Impact and Ring of Honor having a bit more relationship. It'd be interesting to see, because they did have a major relationship years ago. And when Impact first opened its doors, that's how they got guys like AJ Styles originally, because AJ was a Ring of Honor guy and he came through that way. So yeah, I hope they really do get back into a relationship with Ring of Honor, because Ring of Honor are going to need some help with talent soon, because they're losing a lot of talent over the next couple of months. So that'll be interesting. But other than that, that's about it for Impact. You got much else?
Yes. That's it for Impact. You can follow me at The Regular on Twitter.
Yeah, you can find me at BigBoy_Mikey at 86 on Instagram and Twitter. I've cleaned that up, so that sounds a lot better now. So go that. And I believe it's your birthday tomorrow, is it, Regular J?
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday, buddy. How old are you turning?
I'll be 24.
24. Jesus. I remember them days. I was like nearly 10 years
Still
ago.
young. Still in my prime.
Still in your prime.
Give that another year and I'll be done.
Nah, mate. Once you get to 32, it's definitely all over. But yeah, let's leave it there. We'll obviously you can find the B+ on Twitter at the B+ Wrestler, because wrestling wouldn't fit. I feel weird saying that part. You can find the B+ Wrestling on everything else, guys. Give us a share, like, and subscribe. Give us a 5-star review and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's about it from us. Bye.
Hold one. Arm drag. You're not doing this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon. You just made the list. Oh my God.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy. Hold three. The moss covered.